is that not only is it difficult to have either positive or no thoughts for a given day, it's difficult not to feel stressed or worried or anxious in a given day. And that's because we've literally become conditioned to feeling that stress, that anxiety, and worry is necessary for us to reach our goals. That it's become an addiction. We can choose right now, if you wanted to, you could say, okay, for a split second, I'm going to focus on really just feeling joy in every cell of my body. And you could get somewhere with that. You could really probably feel quite a bit of joy in your body, or at least peace. That said, why is it so difficult to do that for a whole day? And it's because we've become addicted to the emotional resonance of stress and anxiety and worry. So if we can clear that from our process of working with our parts, then we can work with our parts more constructively. And our parts will have less power over us. If our parts drain our energy by triggering our negative emotions and our negative feelings in our body, then that energy is being taken away from our conscious intentions and our conscious goals, as well as consciously healing that part. If you're in meditation and you're focused on this part because you want to understand it, and you're getting frustrated that you have it, you're getting frustrated that it's in the way of where you want to go, you're feeling like it's going to take me too long to get there, then all of that stuff is going to be background noise that's going to interrupt your clarity, your process of really understanding that part.
So, two more short points. The first point is that our motivation and our capacity to consciously, in the moments when we're triggered, make a different choice. Meaning, instead of reacting to our triggering and becoming sad or whatever it is that we become in that moment, choosing to close our eyes and to feel what we feel and to understand why we're feeling it, to understand what is the thought that's creating the emotion that I'm feeling, and to sit with it. Well, it's that capacity, it can be developed. Over time, as you feel less and less of the tendency of being in fight or flight because you feel like I have to think this or I have to feel this, otherwise I'm not safe. Over time, you're going to find that it'll be easier for you to make the choice of, okay, instead of distracting away from that thought, or instead of, feeling disempowered right now, I'm going to sit and I'm just going to feel. I'm going to feel what I feel. And I'm going to sit with the feeling, and I'm not going to try to distract or run away from it, or I'm not going to judge it. I'm just going to feel what I feel. So first, that, over time, that's going to grow. So be patient with yourself. That capacity to do that, to choose that instead of reacting, that's going to, over time become more and more the tendency. And until then, just, having patience with the process. The second part of that is that when you start really realizing that what you're fearing, right? So when we're in our comfort zone, it's because we feel like if we step out of the comfort zone, it's going to be really bad, right? And we're not going to be able to bear all of this. But everything that you're projecting outside of your comfort zone, which is the unknown, it's in your mind. It doesn't exist. If you were to ask your friends or your family or other people, some people would agree with you, would say, well, yeah, don't do that. That's really bad, and you could fail and that would be terrible. And some people would say like, let's take an example of Elon Musk or, some entrepreneurs that just they continue, What other people call failure, they say, yeah, that's part of the process of refining, of fine-tuning. It's what we were talking about. You're climbing the ladder. You're not already there. If you were already there in all aspects of your life, why are you here? What's the point of being here in a physical body? If everything was perfect and we would all be like, oh, everything is perfect and nothing. That's not why we're here. So we're here to grow, to evolve, to learn, to understand more, and to expand our consciousness. And that's a wonderful thing. And so the less you project if you imagine that your fears and the things that you're really afraid of stepping into, the unknown, it's just a projection of your hand, you know, and there's light and it projects something on the wall, right? It's not real. It's not really happening. It's all in your mind. Then it can help you just sit with it. Because if you sit with it, you sit with the emotion of all the terrible things that you're saying, oh my God, this is terrible, I've got to get out of this, you know, I'm going to die, I'm going to be abandoned, it's going to be terrible, I'm going to feel so much pain. When you sit with it, you realize, I imagine all that, it's not real. So I don't know if you've heard of the story of Guru Padmasambhava. He's like from, you know, in Buddhism, he was sitting in a cave and he was, demons were coming up. Right? They were coming up and he was like, he had to defeat those demons. And every time he defeated one, they grew stronger. So another one showed up and it was stronger and it had more force. And so it became more and more difficult to defeat those demons. And then one day in meditation, he realized those demons are all in my mind and I created them and they don't exist. And they dissolved because it was all in his imagination. So in a way, our life is the process of our own imagination. We're imagining all these things that we either want or we don't want, and then we experience that reality emotionally based on that imagining. So if you start changing that, if you start realizing that it's all your own fantasy, then you can focus on things positively and you can release, bless you, you can release the things that are not optimal. Instead of having to fight harder and, you know, becoming stronger and, you know, I have got to do all these things because the demons are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. If you sit in the room with those demons, yeah, where are they, the demons? They're in your mind. You created them. And there's a reason. It's not bad. It's not wrong that you created them. There's a reason. You feel that. You fear you fear sitting in the room with them. But once you sit in the room with them, then that fear dissolves because nothing is happening. You're here, you're sitting, you can be at peace, you can be blissful, you can be in a state of joy and happiness and love in your heart while sitting with those quote-unquote demons. And then the demons go away because what's the reason for them to be here? You're not afraid.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah. Which practice do you want to do?
Whatever you feel, baby.
How are you doing? Any comments? Any feedback? Any questions? Any requests for direction? Like, do you want us to go in any direction with this?
I feel that one of the most optimal things when people first start and, you know, those things come up is opening their hearts. Just like, you know, in those moments where things get difficult, we go into our lower chakras, we're going to fight or flight. If your heart is open, now you're allowing more energy to flow through your energy system. Now you can think from love, from unconditional love, from, you know, like being an immortal being that doesn't die, instead of thinking like, if this doesn't happen, I'm going to be abandoned and feel pain and die, which is what those parts of us, right, that go into fight or flight, that's what they're projecting. They're projecting really bad scenarios. And when we're in our hearts and we relax and we clear, you know, whatever is coming up, it allows for those things to just process out of our system and for us to transcend them and to realize, oh, I'm here, everything's okay. Nothing's happening.
I still have many options to get to where I want to go, not just one.
Yeah.